Okay, I've gotten a lot of feedback on the brick that I've done at my daughter's store. And I just want to show people how I actually do it. And you start off with you can use acrylic paint, chalk paint, whatever you want to use. I usually use acrylic paint. And then I just brush a big area on here about how kind of a design that you want for your brick to be. And it just keeps spreading until it looks good and it's all laid out the way I want it. She's wanting a big area, so we're going to expand this out a little bit here. Okay, we'll start out about what this area is first and let this dry for just a little bit here. Okay, we'll let this dry and I'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. We're back and I went ahead and done one spot here. The sponge that I use is actually what men use to wash their cars with. And I just basically cut it down to the size of the brick that I need. And this is the size that I chose. It doesn't matter if it's straight, just as long as it's the size of a brick. And don't worry about all the little holes and little indentations on it, because that's part of what makes it unique. Basically what you do, you have to add a lot of paint to your sponge, and you just add different colors. I'm adding black, brown, and white, give it a mixture, but you can use any color you want. And I'm just adding my paint to it. And what you do is you leave a little bit of the white to make it look like mortar, and then you just lay where you want the brick at, and then press down, hold for a few seconds. Make sure you get all the corners pressed down also so it can be complete. And then you pull up. Sometimes you have to do it over again. It depends on how much paint you put on. And that's all right, because, I mean, we all make those kind of mistakes, so. But sometimes you just go over again and you press down like you were when you started out. And there you go. And then you just keep adding and doing the same thing till you get the desired look that you want. I would recommend making sure you put enough paint on here to make it do good, but don't overdo it. If you happen to get too much paint on your sponge, you could do several bricks at a time without having to reload your sponge. And then the next row, you want to kind of go down a little bit where it's kind of half and half with the other two bricks that you just done. see if I can get another brick laid out with this paint that I had on here. Yep. And then if you have a little area like this, you can just come in, press it down. It's going to get a little bit on the floor, but you can easily clean that up. And that way it looks like a half a brick. And you just keep adding paint to it. Sometimes you might have to replace your sponge if it gets to be too hard or too hard to handle, which you should be able to do a whole project with one side of the sponge without having any problems. Now, if you want to come over here to the other projects that I've already done, I can show you the final project. Here we did one by the front door, and afterwards it needs to be sanded down at the edges to where it can blend into the floor. And then we kind of took the sander and roughed on the top to make it look kind of old. And of course made the white not so white and blended in a little bit. So you want to go around the edges to blend it in. And then you can also take some off. Also, if you don't like a full brick here, you can sand it down. Different things like that. And then we did one here by the counter. And sometimes you're going to make mistakes up here where you get some of the paint up here, which when you do half of a brick up here, that's what happens. But you can just retouch it. And then here and right over here, we got some on the floor. And we'll just sand this out to where it blends in, get rid of the excess white right here. And then if she wants to add more, we can, or you can take away. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Here's Kathy. She's getting ready to sand this area just to show you how we do it. She'll go in and sand the edges of it and get rid of any kind of an excess that we need to do. And we'll go ahead and let her start, and we'll just watch. I won't be able to talk because she'll have the sander going, so it'll make it very hard to speak. But we'll show you how it's done.
And I've just got like an 80 grit sandpaper on here. That's how you make it look old.
And you could actually take away, or if you want to add more, you can after you get done sanding. But this is what it looks like after the finished product.
And then we'll put a poly seal on it, probably in a matte so it doesn't look shiny, but it'll protect the acrylic on it. And if you want to see it in person, come to our shop the first weekend of every month. We do a 4-day monthly sale, and you can see it in person.
And there's always going to be surprises at the store each month. So come check us out. Bye for now.